Today we're going to be reviewing Fixed. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you my history first before I review it because I feel like this is much more important, like the most important thing in this whole entire review. So, I've been hyped about this film since 2021. I believe it was since 2021 or 2022. No, 2020. Either 2020 or 2021. So, Sony Because of the pandemic, Sony believed that family-friendly films have been saturated, and they want to dip their toes into other films suitable for other ages. So we're not only going to get family-friendly films, so G-rated or PG films, we're also going to get PG-13 films with blood and cussing every few minutes. We would also get R-rated films, animated films as well. And one of their first to break the mold of family-friendly films was a 2D animated film by Genndy Tartakovsky, the man who gave us Samurai Jack and the Hotel Transylvania franchise, named Fixed. And I've been hyped about this movie for a long time. I know the plot, I've seen the movie. When I heard the plot, I wanted to see it. I finally saw it. I wanted it to be in theaters because it would have the same turn as Sausage Party, but it went to Netflix instead. I watched it, and I just gotta say, it's all kinds of funny. I like it. I like it, but I wouldn't say it's the best thing Sony's made. It's a good step in the direction from where they want to go moving forward. But once you see this movie, there's no turning back. So, Fix follows a dog named Bull, and due to him being a dog, his family decides to neuter him in the morning. So he spends his last night, he runs away from home, spending his last night using up everything he has in that sack so that when he comes home in the morning, they're gone. And the premise is crazy, but I wanted to see it because this movie, I saw the trailer. This is much more dirty than Sausage Party, and Sony didn't even make it. They just distributed it so they can go to theaters. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that this movie is all kinds of messed up. So to start the story itself, I feel like the first half padded it out so that the actual plot of the movie can actually happen. Because the first part of the movie just shows how Bull was adopted, where he is now in life. He is a troublemaker. He humps everything. He talks to his love interest named Honey. He goes to see his friends in the at the dog park. He finds that all of his friends have been neutered, by the way, and not to mention that he finally sees what it's like to be neutered. He comes home, and it's just like that new guy that got neutered explained it. It was like a party. Everyone was giving him attention. Everyone gave him treats, and the biggest giveaway was that he drank out of the toilet, and it was covered in Kool-Aid. Like they put it in Kool-Aid, and he found it out. He told his friends, and he was all alone about it. And he ran away from home. And the rest of the movie was just him going into town. He got high on marijuana. He got high on marijuana. He thought his balls was leaving. He saw a cat. The drugs wore off, and they weren't running away from him. He was surrounded by cats, and his friends came in to save him. And that's when we reached the half of the movie where his friends help him suck out every bit out of that sack before he loses them. And the overall adventure, that's when the raunchiness, that's when the R rating really lives up to it. Sure, there was already cussing, there was already dead giveaways that this is an R-rated film. But what happens in the second half? Yeah, they kill a squirrel, they eat all the junk food they want, they eat all the hot dogs they want, and one of the first things they do next is their friends. They help Bull. Rocco helps Bull and his friends go to the dog show that he can tell Honey how he feels. But then he realizes that uh, Sterling and Honey are actually going to be together. And I think the biggest lesson in this movie, despite how R-rated it is, the biggest lesson that this movie takes away is that it's okay to be different. You don't have to be special. You don't have to be everyone else. And I guess that is a good message to say, but it is an R-rated film, and I feel like R-rated animated films don't really tell you a lesson in the story. But if there was a lesson, it's that it's okay to be yourself. You don't have to be everyone else. There's no need to be special. And this is something that Honey realizes when Bull tells him about this. So she runs off. Everything goes really bad, actually. So Rocco is mistaken for a show dog, and all it took was getting felt up, and he went crazy. And then they find out that there is a place where dogs can go to get some. So Lucky finds, I believe, what is that is a transgender Doberman, I believe, and they go at it. They have a relationship. They love each other. They fall in love. And there's this other dog who walks and talks like a human. I mean, he walks like a human. He can't really actually talk because his owner makes him so that his so-called owner, who he calls mom, can mooch off of him on Instagram. And Bull, he meets a dog that looks like Honey, named Molasses, and Honey catches him in the act, and the relationship falls apart. So it's morning. They find a way out when they are taken to the pound, and it's revealed after Bull ran away. It's revealed that they took missing posters all over the city, or I guess all over the neighborhood, because that's how his friends found out that he ran away. They come back, they miss him, but despite all of that, Bull is still getting neutered in the morning. So before anything happens, I guess they postpone it for another time, but on that day, he decides to tell Honey how he feels before Honey is taken by Sterling. And I'm going to spare you the details of what happens after he goes over that fence because I am not telling you what happened. If you want to know so bad, watch the movie yourself if you haven't, because I'm not telling you. So it's the next morning. He goes to get neutered, but before that, he does get some from Honey, and he gets neutered. 3 months later, Honey gives birth to her puppies because it happened, and everything basically goes according to plan. And the movie's villain, who I kind of see as Sterling because of how much of a jerk he is, yeah, it's his turn to get fixed too. At least in the morning. I think it's in the morning or it's immediately after. I only saw it once, and I gotta say, I'm glad there are some things about the movie that I forget, but the one parts that I want to forget is still up there in my head. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, yeah, the movie ends with one last scene. And if you thought it was going to be a dance party scene or a little more raunchier than a regular dance party scene, if you saw Sausage Party, you'll understand. We have a strip club scene with a bear, and all the girl dogs are giving him fish, spraying honey on him, and I gotta say, I did not enjoy that. I looked away the entire time, and then the movie ends. But here's a good thing about this movie. It was only an hour and 26 minutes long, so I didn't have to suffer that much. I will say that this was one of my most anticipated movies. But after watching the movie, I did get a laugh. I did laugh at this movie. I did love every second of it, but I wouldn't say that it's the best thing since Spider-Verse or any other movie that came out. I wouldn't say it's the best since Kung Fu Panda. I wouldn't say it's the best since the Spider-Verse. I wouldn't say it's the best since Mitchell's versus the Machines. If you're into this, if you want to see an R-rated Secret Life of Pets movie, this is basically Secret Life of Pets for adults. If you want this, you can watch it, but just beware what's gonna happen because you're not gonna like it. I That's all I'm gonna say. I warned you with this review. and that's all you're gonna get. So I'm going to go ahead and in this, let's get a rating. I'm going to give the story, despite how the movie went all together, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, and the movie itself a 7 out of 10.